In this video today, I'm gonna show you why college is a scam. Why you guys shouldn't go to college. Well, I mean, you can either listen to me or you can listen to your broke professors making $60,000 a year, teaching you how to run a business that will make you $1 million a year. But how does that make sense? A professor making $60K teaching you how to make $1 million? It doesn't! What's going on, guys? I'm here in the office room chilling. I want to go over a very important subject today, the school system. Whether it's a scam, whether it's going to help you do what you want to do in your life. But my personal opinion is I think school, especially middle school and high school, it's like a glorified daycare. You go there, they're teaching you facts, stories, philosophies, things that aren't really going to benefit your life in a positive way. And when I was going to school, I'd always read in the history books, the textbooks, and they would always be teaching us stuff that was 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and the BC and the DC, whatever it was. And these things aren't correlating with today's society, our generation. And I just kept getting all this stuff in my head from my teachers, my professors, and I never really nothing really clicked. Like, this was something that's actually gonna help me build into a better me, help me actually make money in the long term. And as I was going through school, I really realized a lot of things, but really what stuck out to me is how unhappy professors are, teachers are when you come into class. Now, if I was going to school and my teachers were yelling, like all excited, like, what's going on, class? We're gonna learn some things today that are really gonna help you get further in life. They're really gonna help you develop into a better person than you are today. And when I look at the school system, guys, they aren't teaching the things that need to be taught, like building credit, buying your first home, how to be emotionally stable. And these things really do matter. I think one of the biggest things that matters is being emotionally stable, being able to communicate with people, being able to stay cool in certain situations, like when you're about to fight someone, when somebody's mad at you. Now, they never taught us these things. Why? Well, I mean, if you guys want to be real, they don't want everybody to be really on top of them. And why don't they do that? Because they don't want everybody learning how to make $1 million, how to make $1 billion, because they're going to go bankrupt. Nobody's going to want to go to school. And I never got that. It's like telling one of my kids, hey, when you're born into my church. You're born into my religion. You're going to be taught this certain religion for the rest of your life. Whether you like it or not. Till the age of 18, you're gonna go to our church. You're gonna live by our rules. And it's like, how does that make sense? How are you gonna tell your children that they need to go to church, they need to believe in a certain being, to be on your level, to be somebody that they like? That's what I never understood. Same thing with the school system. You're telling these kids, basically, not even telling them, you're forcing people to go to school, to a glorified daycare where we're learning shit that's not even gonna help us become a better me. And I saw that for the longest time and I was like, damn, that's crazy, because the school system is actually pretty fucked in a way, because when I would get bad grades, when I wouldn't do something right in school, and I'd get in trouble, obviously when you get in trouble you have to be punished for it, but when I wouldn't get good grades on a test, I was considered stupid. My classmates would look at me, they'd look and see a big D or an F on my paper and be like, oh, you're stupid, bro. They would automatically think that off the bat. And not just that, the school system overall ruined my relationship with my dad. Why? Well, my dad would tell me, hey, Colt, if you don't get a C or better on your report card, you're gonna be grounded. You're getting your phone taken away. And that ruined my relationship with my dad. I literally couldn't have any real conversations with my dad. Why? Because he has not been through those experiences. And I feel like school, they don't want you to experience the real meaning of life for what it is. Just like when you don't do good on a test, you're considered stupid. Same thing with the job industry. When you don't do the job right, you're fired. So they're basically teaching us that when we make mistakes, that's bad. You aren't supposed to make mistakes is what they're saying. But really, you learn from mistakes. And I've saw that throughout my whole entire school career. How these teachers, they weren't in the position I wanted to be in life. They weren't doing what I wanted to do with my life. And I think it was around my freshman, my sophomore year when I really opened my eyes to noticing all this. And I was like, shit, it's like telling a squirrel, a fish, a cat, a dog, a tiger, all to go and run up this wall behind me. You guys see that wall behind me, right? It's like telling them all to go run up that wall. And if the cat doesn't do it right, if the squirrel doesn't do it right, then they're stupid. We're gonna punish them for not doing something right because they do not have the same ability as the other person does. And I really noticed that, and I was like, wait, so how does that make sense? You guys aren't teaching us what really needs to be taught. Like, why aren't you teaching us how to build credit? Credit proves that people can trust you. When I got my first apartment here, they asked my credit. My credit wasn't so good at the time, and by me not having good credit, that led to me barely not being able to move in here. Then they had to ask for proof of income. I have really good proof of income, so I showed them that, and they're like, all right, he can pay the monthly payment, it's gonna be fine. I think when you're moving into most apartments, they ask for like 2 or 3 times proof of income. So let's say that my rent is $3,000 a month. They're gonna ask for 3 times proof of income. So you need to be making 3 times that. So 3,000, another 3,000, another 3,000, that's 9,000 a month. So I had to prove to them that I was making over $9,000 a month. And by them seeing that I make 6+ figures a year, they're like, all right, we can trust you. You're somebody that's gonna be making your rent on time. There's gonna be no problems with this individual. They let me in. Now, I saw that too when I was getting my first car. I couldn't get my first car without a cosigner because I didn't have credit established. And that's why you see your teachers driving that shitty Toyota, that shitty Nissan, because they weren't taught the right way to build wealth, how to build credit, how to become emotionally stable, how to buy their first home. So it really got to me where it got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm pretty much done listening to these professors, teachers that really don't know what they're talking about in any way. It's like, why the fuck am I gonna listen to a professor making $60,000 a year teaching me how to build a business that's gonna make $1 million a year? Instead of listening to my professors that were pretty much broke, not physically, but mentally broke. They were stuck in the same situation in life. They were comfortable. They were complacent. And I look around and I see that all the fucking time. People's lives are a damn box, if you guys want to be real. They eat in a box. They sleep in a box. They live in a box. Their car is a box. Their whole life is this box. And they never get out of this box. Why? Because they're comfortable. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. They're fine with making $5,000 a month. They're fine with eating shitty McDonald's every meal. They're fine with seeing the same people every single day, doing the same activities. With me, I think I pretty much just got sick and tired of not really growing as a person. And I wanted to grow, I wanted to do better, and that's when I started to question, all right, who do I have in my life? What disciplines do I have in my life? What kind of people do I have in my life? Are these people wanting to see me grow, or do they want to see me fall? And that's when I started my first business. I asked every single one of my friends to join my business, and I was like, damn, I asked all these people that I used to party with, drink with, just have fun with all the time if they wanted to join my business, and pretty much every single one of them said no. They pretty much ignored me. They didn't reach out to me. I kept reaching out to them. I was persistent. I was like, bro, this is an opportunity for you to change your life. And they just didn't see the opportunity at first because they didn't see that I was successful at the time. Now my friends see me, they see that I'm driving nice cars, I'm living in my own apartment by myself, I'm doing these amazing things. But really what it came down to is I knew that absolutely nothing was going to change in my life until I started to make the changes. I had to change my friends. I actually have one of my mentors in this live. I'm actually on Instagram live right now. And my boy Tyree's in here. He's the one who like put me on game, really showed me a whole nother way of living life. He introduced me and brought me around people that are making 6- and 7-figure incomes. And once I started to surround myself with those people, I started getting the same energy that they had. I started having the same disciplines they had. Pretty much, I became who they were. And overall, I was barely making a couple $100s a month, like pretty much dead fucking broke at the time, living at my dad's house, depressed, just not doing anything with my life. Then slowly but surely, I hit a 6-figure income at the age of 19 years old. I moved out of my dad's house at the age of 19 years old. I did these amazing, amazing, magical things. But I realized that it never would have came until I made a change. So when I was going through high school, guys, when I was going through middle school, I never really had a plan of going to college. It never really was in the back of my head that, okay, you need to go to college. This is something that's going to benefit you. That's probably because I came from a family of every single one of my siblings not going to college, except for one of my sisters, and she's a cosmetologist, so she does hair. So you kind of need like education in a certain way to be able to be in that field. So I came from a background of people not going to college, and I pretty much built off those traits. I had the same character traits my dad did, my sister did, and I pretty much said throughout my whole childhood, I'm not going to go to college. This is something that is not going to help me. I don't see anything helping me through it in that field, I should say. And people would look at me, they would despise me, they'd say, do you know what, you need to go to college. I remember my aunts would be like, oh, your cousin Colby, he's going to college, you should maybe look into that too. And I was like, well, just because he wants to do it doesn't mean that I want to do it. I mean, I think a little bit differently. I have my life plan set a little bit more differently than most people do. And people looked at me differently because I didn't go to college. I remember for the first year of graduating from high school, everyone was like, oh, I'm gonna be more successful than you, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna have a better life than you when I go to college. And then a year later, I'm pulling up in Raris. It was absolutely crazy. I actually rented that Lamborghini Huracan in my previous video. I rented it, and I pulled up to my high school, and I saw a couple girls that I used to hit up, and they never used to hit me back up. And what do you know? An hour later, they're in my DM saying, hey, I like your car, all this stuff. And it's like, wait, so you weren't there for me when I was struggling, when I really needed somebody to push me there. And now you're there. Once you see the end result, what's really there? So what it really comes down to is people will doubt you, they'll despise you, they'll tell you that you're gonna be broke, you're not gonna become successful when you don't have that vision that they have. You don't have that car, you don't have that house. But once you have that, everyone wants to be your friend. Everyone's like, how'd you do it? How'd you do this? Really what it comes down to is working hard, having a real deep why, an urgency to actually do something to get shit done. I could have woke up this morning, I could be like, you know what, I'm gonna sleep until 12 today, I'm gonna go get McDonald's for breakfast, I'm gonna sit around mope all day. But I woke up with the mentality of I need to wake up at 7 a.m. I need to go fucking shower, put on self-development in the shower, I need to feed my dog, I need to go take my dog on a walk. I'm not gonna have that lazy mentality. You are either gonna be busy or lazy throughout your whole entire life. Now 95% of people, they're lazy. They're complacent, they're comfortable, they're fine with their 9-to-5 job, but really what it comes down to is growing. You need to constantly be growing as a person. That is the greatest happiness that I have, is me being me, is growing. And I looked at the school system and I never really saw any growth happening. Why? Because they're teaching you a certain education. And you take that education, you lock it in your brain, right? And you use this education for 40 plus years of your life in a single job. So I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna learn how to become a doctor. I'm gonna dedicate 3 to 5 years of my life to actually get the right education to do that. And I'm gonna use that education that they gave me, that I basically paid for. And that's what I don't understand, how so many of you are so fucking poor, passing over opportunity repeatedly, when this is something that's gonna help you make money. My program is meant to make people money. But people will go and pay for college 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times more than they're paying into education. There are no professors with real proven results that what they are teaching you is actually going to work. With my business, I show my results, my progress on an everyday fucking basis. Some people see the vision, other people don't see the vision. I mean, like, who said that? I think Childish Gambino said, if you don't see the vision, then you must be out of focus. I don't know if that was Childish Gambino, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. But really what I've learned is, by being in the real life, the real world, I've been through trials, I've been through errors. And through those trials, those errors, over all those mistakes, I've grown. I've learned what works and what doesn't work. And in the school system, I remember just being taught things that don't even pertain to life. Like these things, I really just started to question myself, like what I wanted to do with my life. And I just got over what I was doing. I needed to change, and I overall knew that nothing was going to change. Nothing differently was going to come into my life until I made a change. So one thing that you guys can take from this video today is really going off your gut feeling. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to your brother and sister. Don't listen to your uncle, your grandma. If they don't have what you want in life, why are you going to listen to them? End of story. Do not listen to anyone who doesn't have what you want in life. So guys, I went off on this video. I'm happy you guys all came on the live feed. I'm going to actually end this right now on the live feed. If you don't know who I am, reach out to me. Send me a message. I'm going to have my links below for YouTube. And if you're on Instagram Live, just send me a DM. We'll connect that way. If you guys could like this video, comment something that you can relate to about this video. And if you please could, hit that subscribe button right below. It'll be right here or wherever it is on the page. I'm also gonna have my social links in the bio so you guys can stay connected with me. You can reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. But I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day and stay hungry.